In this video, we're going to take a look at the relationship between futures and option contracts, and also consider the payoff for calls and puts with premium. Typically, options, for instance, this put option here, we haven't allowed for any premium, and options generally cost something to purchase. So to acquire the rights associated with an option, you have to pay something, and that involves incurring some premium. In the Python code below, which we'll use, we'll map out again the payoffs, very similar to what we had here, but we make explicit allowance for premium, and we will assume that the value of the call is 1045 and that the value of the put option is 557. Later we'll look more closely at the value of premium and the valuation approach that might be adopted to account for that premium, and we'll use Black-Scholes to provide a coherent framework. So for the moment, we just copied the code here. Now the snippet has been taken from this portal here, from this GitHub. We'll take a look at that at a moment, but for the moment I made some changes to reflect the different premium. So we'll just go into Google Colab to run the Python code, and that takes a second, and we'll paste. So Control V and just run. Okay, so again, if we look at where I took this code from, let's just take the link, copy, selection, paste and go. And it's from Clint Howard, and he does a number of interesting things here. He sets out the Black-Scholes models and the Greeks, and then he uses this code. So this is where I initially took the code from. Includes definitions here for put, call, binary options, and then has some graphing for binary, put option, call option, different exercise prices, and then short positions, and that then develops additional Python code, which is very useful for looking at tracing out butterfly spreads, bolt spreads, straddles, and so on. Looks like a collar, strangles, and I think it's a strip or a strap, not sure. A strip, okay. And then additional code also for Greeks, which is with graphing. So I would like to use this code later on with some simple adaptations as well. And we have some very impressive graphing. And on this portal, there's a lot more interesting content. So you can toggle between different parts of the site. So you can, again, a lot of interesting analysis here. Okay, so we've taken that code, adopted, we've executed, and with that code, we demonstrate the long call with a premium of 1045, a long put with a premium of 557. We have a long futures contract, and we cut here at 0. Where K is equal to the delivery price, consistent with the payoff we had before on Vinegar Hill, where the delivery price was 100, and then we have a combination of short call and short put with the respective premium. that we worked out of 1045 for the call and 557 for the put. Later we'll use Black-Scholes, but for the moment we just put in those arbitrary figures and we plot. Again, Python is quite good in terms of valuation, but also offers additional functionality in terms of mapping, and we can invoke the matplotlib libraries to make those functions available, and it certainly adds to Python in a way that we don't typically can use in C++. So okay, we'll leave that there.